I think if something is over €50, we can't accept it, and if it's less than €50, you have to get permission from your manager, and there's ethics, and it's very clear, and everyone. And I would be shocked if that isn't the case within Dublin City Council. We employ about 18,000 people, and I think the point that Councillor Flynn is making is very valid. But as I said, there seems to be, I would use the word bullying. It's a little bit of bullying there from some of the members of the Labour Party on this guy. You're putting words into his mouth, taking his character. It's every question, it's every meeting, it's atom, and it's an absolute disgrace, and you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Sorry, could you allow Councillor O'Farrell to finish his comments?
Finished. Thank you very much, Lord Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Murray, and finally Councillor O'Shea.
Yeah. Lord Mayor, I really feel a bit left behind with all these sweets being given to the officials, Lord Mayor. I have a lot of items with tag, Lord Mayor, so perhaps if Tim O'Sullivan would send me his address, we can send some Mars bars. I have a box of Mars bars for Tim if we get all my tag items addressed immediately. Thanks, Lord Mayor.
And finally, Councillor O'Shea.
Thank you, Lord Mayor.
No gays for whims, Lord Mayor.
Look,
I withdraw my attempt at mirth.
thank you, Lord Mayor. Like everybody else, I'm fairly much at a loss to understand the purpose of this motion. Who does it benefit? But my question really is, it's to call on Dublin City councillors and other elected representatives of the Dublin area. I just want to know what's meant by the other elected representatives of the Dublin area. Thanks.
Okay, Councillor Flynn, I want to finish it off because this is going on.
Thank you very much, Lord Mayor. I appreciate it. What I mean by the Dublin elected representatives is the Dublin regional area, so it would apply to those also. Okay, simple as that.
Can I make a suggestion?
Can I just make a suggestion myself, Lord Mayor, if I may? First of all, it's that, with all due respects to my good colleagues in the Labour Party, they've gotten hot under the collar, and I forgive them for that. I'm not here in any simple way to undermine anybody. I'm not here to cause any detrimental. I'm not here to kind of propose negative motions. I don't do that. Do you understand me? That may be in your head. Hang on a second. Hang on a moment. I have to defend myself here. You've attacked me personally, and I'm defending my motion. Okay? This is valid. It may be worded a bit wrong, but it's a valid motion. And I take great exception to the way you address me. And to insinuate that this is negative, or this is willful, or this is damaging. What is actually damaging is the way you and your colleagues at that particular angle that I'm looking at have addressed me in the past year in this chambers and another forum. This is the motion I'm sticking to, Councillor Burke. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. In relation to the motion, I think it's extremely important that at least we entertain the idea of transparency and openness. And I do believe that what Councillor Carmichael has suggested, that this is best practice in ethics, should be entertained. So I think that the motion should be put forward. I think that the motion should be voted on. And if it fails, it should go back to protocol and be addressed. It's a serious matter. So if you want to ignore it, fine. But I think it's a serious matter. I am not suggesting for a moment that there's any bribery or there's any criminality here, like my good colleagues over there suggested there was. That's far from the truth, and it's not my motive. My bona fides are correct in this instance. Okay? And I want to cover that area, and that's all I want to do. So I would put this to the House. I would say to you, I would say to the House that I put this to the House with no ulterior motive whatsoever.
Okay. Can those in favour of the motion please raise your hands?
Lord Mayor, could we refer this motion to the Protocol and Selection
Committee? I think we can decide to do that after we take a vote. Those in favour of the motion, please raise your hands. Those against? The motion failed. So,
when the manager addressed the issue, if you wouldn't mind, please, I'd ask the manager to address the issue.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm just going to have a short comment from the manager. Over to you, manager.
Sorry, as I explained, this goes...
Can we have a roll call vote on that, Lord Mayor, wouldn't mind, please?
It's been taken already, Councillor.
Well, yeah, but why not put a roll call vote?
Sorry, it's been taken already. That's the procedure.
Sorry, this, as I read it, contains a very specific motion, which is dealing with elected members and a declaration in a specific instance. Now, I don't believe that it's covered under the current ethics the way you describe it, but I'd have to double check that. But it would depend on the value of the gift, I think. So I'd have to check the value of the gift. Okay. And that's why I think originally the issue of the definition of the gift would have been important.
On a point of information, Lord Mayor, on a point of information, the
Councillor
HSE...
Tormey and then Councillor
I just want to
Hunt.
just inform the manager. The HSE has guidelines specifically dealing with what Councillor Mannix Flynn has brought up, specifically dealing with it, and it limits any receipt of any gift from any member of staff or from any company that's dealing with it to, I think it's very small, like €150 or something like that. So it's available for the manager. If
you wouldn't get much nougat for that.
Sorry. This should not be confused with the This should not be confused with the normal guidelines for staff. This is a separate motion on a separate issue.
Councillor Humphreys, and that's it.
Lord Mayor, could I suggest that protocol would actually bring forward guidelines for councillors on what would be deemed...
Agreed. Agreed. Now, we're on to motion 31 from Marie Metcalf.